Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. Two names, two legacies, one bloodline. Lately, they've been on good terms, appearing aligned, dominating WWE rings together, showing the world the unbreakable bond of family. But don't let that fool you. Beneath the smiles, the nods, the shared victories, there's a history. A long, brutal history of manipulation, power plays, and mental games. Roman Reigns isn't the same man who hugs Jey at ringside. He's the head of the table, the tribal chief, a master manipulator who has broken more than one Ali's spirit before. And that begs the question, what if Jey Uso finally snapped? What if he betrayed Roman, turning heel in a way that would shock the WWE universe to its very core? Would it be justified? Let's break it down. First, let's remember the past. Roman Reigns' rise to power wasn't clean. He's held championships, controlled storylines, and dictated outcomes, all while bending others to his will. Jey Uso was no exception. Time and again, Roman tested his loyalty, pushed him to uncomfortable limits, and sometimes humiliated him to prove a point. Jey has been loyal, yes, but even loyalty has its breaking point. We've seen hints of tension recently. Roman's subtle digs during promos, the moments when he questioned Jey's decisions, the quiet manipulation behind closed doors. You might have missed it on first watch, but fans who pay attention know the score. Roman has always been about power first, family second, and that family first image. It's mostly for show. Now imagine the chaos if Jey finally reached his limit. Picture it. A packed WWE arena, the tribal chief in the ring, gloating, asserting his dominance, and Jey Uso walks down the ramp, not with hesitation, not with fear, but with fire in his eyes. He steps through the ropes and stares Roman down, no words, just a look that says, "I've had enough." The betrayal hits like a bomb. Fans erupt. Social media blows up. Every commentator freezes mid-sentence as Jey slaps Roman across the face. Not a playful gesture, not a warning, but a statement. He's no longer the obedient cousin. He's no longer the follower. He's the challenger. And the beauty of it, it's justified. Roman has done things to Jey that go beyond storyline tension. He's manipulated him, psychologically twisted him, and used him as a pawn to maintain control. WWE storylines thrive on family drama, but this would be personal. The betrayal wouldn't just be for revenge. It would be for respect, for reclaiming identity, for breaking free from the shadow of the head of the table. Fans would debate it endlessly. Some would call it the ultimate betrayal. Others would see it as the natural evolution of a story built on manipulation. And the best part, the drama doesn't stop at one night. This sets up weeks, months, maybe even a pay-per-view showdown where bloodlines are tested, alliances crumble, and the tribal chief faces his ultimate reckoning. Now, let's dive into the scenarios that could unfold if Jey Uso finally snaps. The WWE universe thrives on tension, on storytelling where every glance, every word, every handshake could hide betrayal. And that's exactly the kind of storytelling we'd get if Jey turned heel. Scenario 1. The slow burn. Jey continues appearing loyal, fighting alongside Roman in tag matches and backstage segments. He nods, he agrees, he smiles, but every segment drops subtle hints. Hesitation in his movements, a glare when Roman takes undue credit, or a quiet muttering that fans barely catch. By the time the betrayal happens, it's explosive, unexpected, and fans can't stop replaying every previous moment with fresh eyes, realizing the buildup was meticulously planned. Scenario 2. The sudden strike. Imagine a championship match, Roman in full tribal chief mode, belittling opponents, claiming dominance, and Jey suddenly storms the ring. He doesn't attack just anyone, he attacks Roman. A thunderous superkick, maybe even a USO splash from the apron onto the tribal chief. The arena erupts. Cameras capture shocked faces, announcers stumble over words, and social media breaks. This isn't a moment for subtlety, it's a headline-making, instant viral betrayal that reshapes the WWE landscape overnight. Scenario 3. The psychological war. This one's dirty, cunning, and just the kind of drama Roman Reigns thrives on. Jey begins planting seeds of doubt, questioning Roman's leadership on camera, backstage, even subtly to other wrestlers. He allies with other heels or disillusioned faces, creating an entire underground faction meant to dismantle the tribal chief's power. It's chess, not brawling, and it puts Roman in a position he's rarely faced, having to fight both physically and mentally against someone who knows him better than anyone else. Now let's talk justification, because this is the heart of the debate. Should Jey betray Roman? Absolutely. Roman Reigns has walked over countless allies, manipulated family, and cemented his role as head of the table, at the expense of others' loyalty and identity. Jey has been in Roman's shadow for years, constantly tested, subtly humiliated, and forced to choose between family loyalty and personal honor. Turning heel wouldn't just be dramatic, it would be the right move for Jey's character evolution. And imagine the fan reactions. Social media would explode. Memes would dominate timelines. Jey snapped. USO versus Tribal Chief confirmed. Family loyalty shattered. Commentary panels would debate the morality of the heel turn for months. Some would call Jey a villain. Others would hail him as the hero finally standing up to Roman's manipulations. It's the kind of storytelling that fuels WWE hype for weeks, if not months. Even WWE Creative could spin multiple pay-per-view arcs from this. SummerSlam Showdown. Yes. Survivor Series betrayal match. Absolutely. Long-term rivalry with promos dripping with personal vendettas, ambushes, and family drama. Guaranteed. This isn't just a feud, it's a generational WWE storyline in the making. Now let's talk about the promos, because WWE is storytelling at its finest, and if Jey Uso turns heel, the promos could be legendary. Imagine the arena lights dimming, the tribal chief standing tall in the ring, smirking as usual, claiming dominance over the locker room and his own family. Roman's voice echoes, commanding attention. I am the head of the table. Loyalty runs through my blood. Anyone who stands against me will fall. The crowd roars with a mixture of fear, respect, and anticipation. And then, the music hits. Jey Uso walks down the ramp. Not the hesitant, deferential cousin we've seen. No. This Jey walks with purpose, eyes burning with fury, body language screaming rebellion. He stops on the apron, stares Roman dead in the eyes, and says something simple, yet devastating. You've controlled me for too long. Loyalty isn't weakness. And I'm done. The arena goes silent for a moment, then erupts into cheers and screams. Social media blows up instantly. Clips go viral. Fans are dissecting every inflection, every pause. The heel turn isn't just announced, it's seared into the audience's memory before the first punch is thrown. From there, the in-ring storytelling escalates. Imagine tag matches where Jey and Roman are forced to team up. The tension is palpable. Jey tags Roman in, but hesitates at a crucial moment. Roman looks at him with a mix of confusion and rage. And the next week, in a one-on-one match, Jey finally strikes. A superkick, a USO splash, a betrayal that makes Roman hit the mat in shock. And the fallout doesn't end there. WWE Creative could spin weeks of chaos, backstage confrontations, interference in each other's matches, and alliances forming against the head of the table. Other wrestlers might side with Jey, seeing him as the new face of rebellion. Fans would speculate endlessly about who's loyal, who's double-crossing, and who will survive the upheaval. Now let's get to the justification angle, because it's more than storyline heat, it's psychology. Roman Reigns has pushed Jey into situations where loyalty was demanded, obedience expected, and individuality suppressed. Every compliment, every handshake, every public display of family unity was a subtle reminder, you exist in my shadow. Jey's heel turn wouldn't just be revenge, it would be a reclamation of identity. He'd no longer be Roman's pawn, Roman's extension, Roman's shadow, he'd be his own man. Fans love redemption arcs, but they love justified betrayal even more. Jey turning heel could become one of the most compelling WWE stories in years. A blood feud, emotional promos, shocking match finishes, and fan engagement like never before. Memes, debates, social media threads, and YouTube reactions would dominate the conversation. Every Jey Uso appearance would be scrutinized. Does he betray Roman tonight? Is this the night? The uncertainty would fuel anticipation week after week. And let's not forget the psychological warfare. Roman thrives on control. But if Jey turns on him, Roman isn't just facing a physical threat, he's facing a personal one. Someone who knows his weaknesses, his tactics, and his mind games. That's the kind of feud WWE fans live for. Power versus knowledge, dominance versus rebellion, head of the table versus the one he underestimated most. The moment Jey Uso turns heel isn't just a single match. It's the beginning of a saga that could dominate WWE for months, maybe years. Imagine the next pay-per-view, SummerSlam. Roman Reigns, head of the table, standing tall in the main event, championship gleaming. He's confident, smug, radiating dominance, thinking he's untouchable. But the arena goes dark. The music hits. And there's Jey Uso. No hesitations, no doubts, just pure vengeance in his eyes. The bell rings, but this isn't a normal match. Every moment is tension, every movement a calculated psychological strike. Jey doesn't just go after Roman's body, he goes after his mind. Mid-match, Roman attempts a Superman punch. Jey ducks, counters, and the crowd explodes. Every near fall, every pin attempt becomes a question. Will Jey finally betray him? Will Roman maintain control? And then it happens, the moment fans live for. Jey Uso, after enduring Roman's taunts, his manipulation, his mind games, finally delivers a superkick that echoes through the arena. The tribal chief stumbles, shocked. Jey climbs the turnbuckle, landing a USO splash that shakes the ring. The arena goes ballistic. Social media explodes. Clips of the betrayal go viral within minutes. Memes, reaction videos, Twitter threads. This is history in the making. But WWE wouldn't stop there. They'd layer in weeks of psychological warfare. Jey could interfere in Roman's other matches, ambush him backstage, or form secret alliances with other disillusioned wrestlers. Fans would dissect every promo, every glance, every handshake. As Jey plotting something becomes the question of the month. Every commentator would speculate endlessly, building tension for the next showdown. And let's talk about justification. Roman Reigns has done everything to maintain control, using family loyalty as a leash, manipulating emotions, and testing limits. Jey turning heel isn't just justified, it's inevitable. He's reclaiming his identity, standing up to abuse, and showing the world that loyalty has its breaking point. Fans would rally behind him, chanting, reacting, debating, creating a social media storm that dominates WWE coverage for weeks. Now imagine the climax: Survivor Series. A no-holds-barred, tables, ladders, and chairs match. Roman, desperate to maintain dominance. Jey, fueled by betrayal and years of manipulation. Chairs slam, ladders wobble, and bodies fly. Every move is symbolic. Roman's dominance challenged, Jey's independence asserted. When Jey finally climbs the ladder and grabs victory, it's more than a win, it's a revolution. From here, WWE storytelling evolves. Roman could lash out in retaliation, creating multi-layered feuds. Jey's heel turn becomes a generational storyline: family, loyalty, power, and revenge all intertwined. Fans, analysts, and commentators would call it one of the most compelling arcs in modern WWE history. Every promo, every match, every backstage segment would be dissected and shared globally, keeping the narrative alive long after the arena lights go out. In the end, Jey Uso turning heel isn't just a plot twist. It's a seismic shift in the WWE landscape. It's justice, vengeance, and drama wrapped into one electrifying storyline. And when it happens, fans won't just watch, they'll feel it, discuss it endlessly, and remember it as the night loyalty finally broke the chains of control.